We have continuing coverage on the resignation of U.S. Attorney for Maryland, Erek Barron. Fox 45's Alexa Ashwell spoke with a law enforcement expert. She joins us live with any potential impact to Baltimore's crime fight. Now, I imagine that expert had a lot to say, Alexa.
Kai, certainly, and according to that law enforcement expert, he doesn't believe much should change so long as whomever is appointed follows a similar playbook. Less than 3 months ago, now former U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland, Erek Barron, and Baltimore City State's Attorney Ivan Bates sat down side by side with Fox 45 News.
We have this partnership.
Law enforcement expert Jason Johnson says maintaining this partnership between Bates and whomever takes the helm at the U.S. Attorney's Office for Maryland will be key in keeping Baltimore's violent crime down.
If President Trump appoints someone who follows the same playbook, essentially, and maintains good working relationships with our state's attorney, then I think it'll be okay.
That playbook included aggressively going after repeat violent offenders for any and all wrongdoing, what Barron announced he had instructed his office to do years ago, and what Johnson believes has been critical in keeping many of these offenders off city streets. Here's why.
The U.S. Attorney's Office has tools that local prosecutors don't have. For example, real prison sentences. They don't. The federal system does not have in its quiver the practice of just releasing criminals back out onto the street. So people who are found guilty after a trial or plead guilty, especially for violent criminal offenses, typically are sentenced to pretty significant periods of incarceration. As I think they would say on the street, they don't play around. And that's exactly what's needed, but certainly for violent repeat offenders.
This is particularly critical, Johnson says, when it comes to gun crimes. For example, 2 years ago, a Baltimore man who investigators said led city police on a chase that ended near a school zone was later federally charged with being in possession of a gun within a school zone, a federal statute Barron said the office typically hadn't enforced.
We are enforcing it because we think, we need to send a message to people out there who would do violence.
A message that comes with a potential maximum 5 years in prison on top of whatever state charges or additional charges an offender may be facing.
We do want the period of incarceration to be meaningful and predictable so that those who would go out and commit an act of violence can take to the bank that if they're caught, they're going to be removed from the streets for a serious period of time. You don't always see that in state court. In fact, you rarely see that in state court. You almost always see that in federal court. And that's why whoever occupies the office of United States Attorney for the District of Maryland, it's very important that they subscribe to that.
And President Trump has not yet announced his pick for Barron's replacement. Alexa Ashwell, Fox 45 News.
I'm Kai Jackson. Thank you for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.